live, the Domestic Estate Manager Studios in Grosse Pointe, Michigan. It's the nation's #1 podcast series in the private service industry. It's time for DEMA Live. Now, here are your hosts, Matt and Mike. Hello and welcome back to another edition of DEMA Live. I am your host, Matthew Hack, and today we'll begin our road to the 2013 DEMA Convention podcast series. I'm joined today by the 2012 Private Service Professional of the Year Award winner and 2013's DEMA Convention MC, Mr. Richmond Schmidt. Since receiving last year's award, you may have read articles involving Richmond in the Palm Beach Daily News and the Triton. Richmond, welcome to DEMA Live. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. How are you? Thanks for having me.
I'm doing fantastic, and it's an honor to have you on the podcast this afternoon. And just wanted to congratulate you once again for being the 2012 Private Service Professional of the Year.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Absolutely, no problem. So since we haven't really spoken to the DEMA world since you won that award or really introduced you, let's take a quick second and let's talk about how the winning that award has kind of impacted your life.
Well, I still live in the same house that I lived previously. I haven't bought my own mansion or been able to hire my own private service professional, but life has gotten back to a normal routine again. I will say that there were some interesting articles written as a response to winning that award, and I think just having those awards through DEMA does wonderful things for the industry. It gives one more opportunity to put the name DEMA out there in the media. I appreciated those opportunities to be able to talk about DEMA and what's been going on in the local community with DEMA and then on a national level. So it was one more big spotlight that I think served DEMA well, and I was glad to be a part of that and use that as a great opportunity to talk about DEMA for a lot of people that wouldn't know about it had they maybe not read an article in the newspaper or something online.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we got some really good feedback as a whole from that. We heard nothing but positive things from people that know you, and we're very honored that we were able to give you that award last year, and that you were voted to receive that award as well. So kudos to you on that. So moving ahead, we're going to be having the 2013 convention. I don't know if you've heard this, but it is going to be held in Orlando, Florida.
I've heard that, and that's just up the street from me a little ways.
Yeah, absolutely. And so with that being said, we were looking for a Master of Ceremonies, and we felt that it was the right thing to do to introduce you back to the group at this year's convention as the Master of Ceremonies, and we're very excited to have you to fill that role. And I know that Fitzgerald did an excellent job last year, so you definitely will have some big shoes to fill.
Well, thank you for that honor, and I'm excited about being asked and looking forward to that opportunity as well. And you're right, I have some pretty big shoes to fill, so I'm trembling a little bit.
You'll be fine. You'll be fine, and you know Fitzgerald will be there too, so you can always pull him off to the side and get some support from him. So I'm sure it's always tough being the first one that does the Master of Ceremonies, but at least you've got someone to lean on this year, right?
I'll be his little minion and play off him then.
Perfect. So, all right. So, what are some of the things that you're excited about? Since we did have the first convention last year, obviously, I think a lot of private service professionals and professionals as a whole, whether it be vendors or placement agencies, what are some of the things that you felt were extremely impactful and important regarding the convention last year?
I think the amazing thing about the DEMA convention is it's not just for private service professionals. That alone would be reason to go, to be able to network with colleagues, other professionals who do the same type of work as you, because there are no opportunities to do that other than DEMA on a local or national level. So that alone would be reason enough to go. But that is multiplied by the fact that it's not just for private service professionals, but it involves agencies, schools, and vendors. And everybody involved in the industry is there or represented there. So it's not like it's all agencies where it's a job fair. It's not just colleagues where it's a coffee clutch where we're just talking about what happens in our own little world. And it's not just the yellow pages where we look at a bunch of vendors.
Right.
So it's everybody involved networking in all different directions. And wherever you are in your career, if you're in the middle between jobs right now, it's a great time to go because you will connect with agencies. You can also consider maybe beefing up your resume by speaking to a couple of the schools that are there and asking how you can take some modular classes or sign up, complete an entire program. If you're in the thick of it and you hardly have time to turn around, you need to make time to go so that you can connect with vendors face-to-face and build some relationships with vendors that maybe are from your own region or work on a national level. In the future, you'll find yourself in any one of those positions. So it's great to go now to build a good foundation of a connection with an agency. Someday you may need that agency connection. You may have dry cleaners at your disposal right now, but you don't know when you're going to be able to, or when you're going to need to change some of your staffing. It's a great time to go. There's no better time to go than now.
I couldn't agree with you more. I think that the convention is really set up and established to be able to act as a pipeline for communication, education, and networking. And it goes both ways. It's not just one way flowing, to the private service professionals. A lot of that information flows from the private service professionals back to the agencies, back to the vendors. And, it's really an open environment. And I think that that's something that you've really the nail on the head, so to speak, is it really is for everyone. And we're really excited to be able to bring the convention to the great state of Florida, which I'm sure you're also extremely excited about.
We're ready to greet everybody. We have 3 chapters here in Florida, so we'll be here in full force.
You actually have 4 chapters.
You're right, we do. We've added Miami
That's right.
2 months ago.
Yeah, so we've got South Florida.
I forget that.
Yeah,
we're dripping with chapters here in Florida.
Absolutely. So you have South Florida, Miami, Orlando, and Naples. So we have a very broad community there in the state of Florida. So we're really excited about bringing the convention there and being able to allow you guys to entertain and host other private service professionals from throughout the country.
We're glad to share our great state with you.
Absolutely. We're excited about that. So are there any words of wisdom now? The 2013 Private Service Professional of the Year award winner. Do you have any recommendations for that particular person on what they can expect? Obviously, not necessarily life-changing stuff, but any words of to the wise?
I always think getting a great amount of sleep before the convention is a wonderful idea because aside from the scheduled activities, there's a lot of breakaway opportunities to get to know people and spend time going out for dinner in the evenings or hanging out around the pub at the hotel. So get plenty of rest beforehand and come prepared to network. Bring your business cards, bring your resumes, bring your questions, bring your wants, and go at it with walk into the hotel with your arms stretched out to handshake people because from that moment on you're going to be meeting people throughout the entire weekend. And it is a really great opportunity. The whole weekend is really about networking. You walk away from the convention really feeling the size of this industry. You have a much better sense of how big this industry is in this country, and then you have a much better sense of how well you're truly connected after you've been to the convention.
It is interesting to see how private service professionals blossom at that convention, isn't it? Because they think they're in this little world all by themselves, and then all of a sudden they're in this convention hall filled with hundreds of them.
We're in an industry where we feel isolated day in and day out. It's easy to accept that as your reality, but the reality is There's people like you folks at DEMA National that are impacting the industry in a very great way that makes it so much less isolating.
Yeah, well, we appreciate that. And I think that that's the overall goal for the association, and that's why we encourage all of our members, all of our non-members, anyone who's interested in learning more about what DEMA is all about. We highly encourage you guys to come on out to this year's convention, check it out. So with that being said, Richmond, we look forward to seeing you in September. And you'll be passing off a few awards, I'm sure, to other people, while at the same time getting some handshakes and some compliments and congratulations from last year.
Well, thank you. I'm looking forward to it, and looking forward to seeing people that were there last year and meeting newcomers to the scene.
Absolutely. All right, sounds good. Well, I really appreciate you taking the time today, Richmond, to talk and help educate anyone who wasn't at last year's convention and encourage them to attend this year. Is there anything else that you would like to pass along at this point?
Just expect it to be magical. It's in Orlando.
Oh, you had to get the Disney reference in there.
I had to get the Disney reference.
All right. Well, I can assure everyone it will definitely be magical, but it'll only be magical by the attendees that are going to be at the convention. So we're highly excited and looking forward to it. So thanks a lot, Richmond. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Thanks again to my guest, the 2012 Private Service Professional of the Year Award winner and 2013's Master of Ceremonies, Mr. Richmond Schmidt. I would also like to thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to listen to another DEMA Live podcast. If you're interested in more information on how you can become a part of this year's convention in September, visit the convention website at www.demaconvention.com. Once again, the address is www.demaconvention.com. Stay tuned for more great podcasts with presenters from this year's DEMA Convention. Until next time, I've been your host, Matthew Hack. Have a great day.